What's up, folks? Carolina Cat Daddy. We just had 3 fish on at one time. Now, let's see, look, that one right there. Fishing a section of the river I have not fished in like 7 years. We've been out here for a while. It's super windy. I didn't go to CNT because of this wind. This would be like ×4 CNT probably. Got a lot of current flowing through here. We anchored up on a spot earlier and missed the fish. Little guy, first fish of the day. The first fish of the day. There's some big fish in here. I've not fished this, like I said, I have not fished here in 7 years. I can't really go where I want to because, you know, I just got the trolling motor. We trolled a long dang way to get here, and I just can't go no farther. There is I've seen a big stump field. If I'm playing with these little guys like this, I'm gonna move. I can't go back far, no farther up. I have to go back down, and we'll see if we can pick up some bigger fish. All right, this guy's on here. He's just been sitting there. He's about the same size as that last one. Yeah, he's just been sitting there, sitting on it for a minute. He actually hit first. He was the first one to hit. Then this one went down, and then that one went down. And I got 2 out of the 3. This was a tad bit bigger. Ow, don't do that, man. There he is. He's about a ½ pound bigger. We're gonna stay here for a little while longer and see if we can't get some bigger fish to come through here. Ain't even got neither one of the other baits back in the water. We got another little guy. That one, I'm not even gonna throw it back out. I'm not wasting my bait on these little fish. I'll let them take these baits, and if they ain't upgrading the size, we're moving on. I ain't paying money for this. Yeah, just another little guy. Alright, y'all, we still have not got a bait in the water. We got another little guy. We ain't doing this all day, I promise. We got these 4 rods out. I did put bait on this one right here that I still have not thrown out. And these were all older baits anyway from when we was on the first spot. So we'll let them eat these baits and then we're gonna move on. Unless we hook something bigger. My theory is, so sometimes big fish will hang out under little fish and eat all the shad that they tear up. But my philosophy is these little fish don't hang around big fish too often because these big fish will eat these fish. And all these fish are about the same size. Now these fish are getting to the size where they probably ain't gonna get 8 whole. But I don't know, I've just never caught really big fish. It's happened before. That'd be a lie if I said I hadn't caught big fish around little fish, but it's not that often. I've heard a good theory that if you got a bunch of little fish, kind of move back behind those little fish. And I did mark, this is a deep area. I say deep, it's 20 foot deep. But there's a shelf that comes up and it's like 8 foot on the shelf for a while and then it drops back down. And I marked some fish on that shelf. So what we might do is we might move back and fish on that shelf and see if that theory works. But there he is. Alright. These little fish wearing me out. I believe this is a little better fish, y'all. That's hard to say. He took it a lot harder. We'll say that. He's swimming to me, so. Okay, he got a little more size on him. He got a little more size. He might stay here a little longer. He's getting a little bigger. He ain't the fish we're looking for, but I'll take him over all four of them other ones I just caught. They still don't get the net though. They still don't get the net. Definitely not a fish we're come here to get, but it's bigger, it's a little bit bigger. Yeah, them river fish be rough. Got a rough life, man. I want your great grandpappy. Come on. We'll stay here a little longer. It ain't been about 10 minutes since we caught another fish. Alright, I still ain't got no cast net. Junior tore my dang net up and he bought me another one. A brand new net too, and I tore my other one up last week. So got the big tournament on CNT. I told you I didn't go. I opted out not to go. And I ain't got no service out here, so I hope Tyler does pretty good. Usually I get my bait from Jamie, but I went and seen the old man that carries blueback herring because Jamie's got 80 boats he's got to get bait for. And I actually hit up Jacob, which is the guy that throws the net for him. I kind of grew up with Jacob. And Jacob said he'll catch me some bait if I want it. But I might get it later, but I just went and got this herring, and it's doing pretty good so far. Jamie, down there pre-fishing, caught a 90-pound blue. Nice fish. That's why I don't pre-fish, y'all. That's why if I'm gonna fish a tournament, I'll go out and look around, but I don't pre-fish because, well, if y'all watch my videos, y'all know I catch the fish after the tournament. So I can't catch them on tournament day. We're not gonna throw the rest of these rods out. There's a lot of current in here anyway. It's kind of hard. I got some 6-ounce weights out, and I got 1/8. I hadn't thrown it out. The 6s are holding, but I only have like 3 of those, so I got the ones at the back are 5. And even the 6 is bouncing along with the current. We got a good bit of flow through here. And I bought 40 baits and probably gonna fish tomorrow, so I don't know. If Jeff and Tyler come back, they'll give me their bait. Jacob might go catch me some bait. He lives on the river, so he's got a little spot. I think he can catch me a couple. I don't know. We'll see. If I can't get no bigger than that fish there in the next couple fish, we're getting on them up. We're gonna move on back. I'm not paying money to catch them fish, you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. Another little guy. We're not throwing no more bait out here. We're gonna move back and get on that shelf. I'll leave these baits here for a few more minutes, but that's the plan. Oh, he got the dang fungus among us on the lips. Oh, he got him a piece of bad one there. Ooh, buddy, you better leave that alone. Sometimes that stuff don't wash off now. Ooh, look at that. All right, like I said, we're gonna sit here a few more minutes and we're gonna move on. That gun, we ain't even got but a couple rods out. As soon as I threw this one in, something smashed it. Hung up in a tree. That gum, I think it's a flathead. Alright, y'all, that one that hung up over there, I kept pulling on it. And finally it broke off at the hook. Well, 5 minutes later, this one went down. I mean, this one buried. I got a feel of it. It was something daggum big, and it wasn't on long. And it snapped this 80-pound leader too. I don't know. It ran me into some structure. There is abrasion right here. That was daggum something. Whatever this was on this rod was big. And it's 80-pound leader. I haven't had this 80-pound leader snap on me before. So we're gonna re-rig up and we're gonna try and find out what the heck that was. Got this guy. Telling you what I had on probably could have ate him. Alright, what's up folks? Carolina Cat Daddy. So we fished the river yesterday and you know we couldn't, for a long time we could only find small fish. And we finally got into some big fish, but we just couldn't stay much longer. It was windy. I wanted to go back there. I figured out how to fish it, but I ain't gonna go there today. It's back windy again. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, but at that particular spot, it's hard to load my boat in the wind with just a trolling motor. It was, man, I got tangled up in trees. It was a very rough experience, so I don't think I'll be going back there. I know I'm not going back there today. We're gonna fish the river today. We're gonna fish a different section. I got a feeling like we can get on some fish here, so that's what we're gonna do. Y'all stay tuned, let's see what happens. All right, y'all, we're set up. This is a section of the river I've been wanting to fish. I've been saving it, because I don't know when the right time to fish is here. And this is either a hero or zero move, probably zero, but we're gonna give it a shot. We got tangled up in the, see how my rods are now? I usually bundle them up and stick them right here when I come in. Yesterday I didn't do it, and I know better than that. When I got up to the landing, I got blowed around and got wrapped in some trees. It didn't really damage my rods, but some of the leaders. This is very important. You need to pay attention to stuff like this, because this is, think about how much you fish. I don't know how many times I fish a year. I fish a lot, and that whole year I'm looking for the biggest fish I can possibly catch. So what if all this time, money I spent, and I get the biggest fish on and I lose them over something like this? It's gonna be hard to see, but there's abrasion right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I ain't gonna snap it. I probably can snap it with my finger, but I might end up cutting myself too. That right there is a weak spot. So when you hook the fish of a lifetime, you got a weak spot like this, your chances of losing him are greatly increased. I mean, greatly increased. You always check your leaders. You know, this is 30-pound line here. Most of these, the ones that are green, they're 40-pound. I like the 40-pound. And what sucks about it is when you're hung up and you want to break off, it don't want to break. So sometimes I just have to wrap my line around the eye and just dry the boat, break it. But I'd rather do that than have some security over, you know, fishing structure, big fish. This is 30-pound. The only reason I'm running 30-pound on these is because these are smaller reels. These are 5,000s. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these out here. I got a 5600 too, but I got 40-pound on it. But it just don't hold as much line. I get a lot more line on here with a 30. 30 is probably plenty, especially fishing where there's no structure. But where there's structure at, and that's why I'm fishing. This one's on structure, and these two are on structure. This one's kind of on structure too. So I want the heavy line there. This is an 80-pound leader. And if y'all see in the video earlier that's with this video, you know, a big fish snapped this quick like. So I don't know. I like the 80-pound leader. I don't have to change it as much, but the key to this is check it every time. When you get a fish, they roll up on here, check it. They'll put abrasion on these, check your all your knots. A lot of times with the snail, once it's first when you first do it, sometimes it wants to slip black, and if that little tag comes through, you'll lose a fish. I've lost them like that. So what I'll do is with a brand new leader, when I just put it on, I'll put it on here, and I'll tighten this down like so, like that, and I'll let it sit for a while. This stuff will stretch, so it'll stretch it out, and it'll get your knots all tight. You know, I'll do that, set it in the holder, do a couple things, let it sit there a couple minutes, and it ain't gotta take a long time. Just a couple minutes, just to get it broke in. But see, we're gonna change this leader. That 5600 needs to be cleaned. I can start to feel it kind of wanting to catch up. I'm gonna throw it out right now, but eventually I'm gonna take that leader off and put it on. I brought my other 2 rods. I hadn't even used these rods yet. Brand new line on them, never used. They're used, the reels and rods are used, but I've never used them. But we're gonna switch some of these over. This one, I ran 20-pound line for a very long time, and it works. It really does. I haven't really lost many fish on it. But you get what I'm talking about, changing these leaders out and stuff. With this right here, you have to change it out so much it's ridiculous, because any little thing will nick this thing. So this is the last 20-pound I had. I'm gonna take it off, clean this reel, and I'm gonna spool it with 40. And we're not using it today. We're gonna run. That's why I brought these 2. I'm gonna switch over, and let's see if we can catch a fish. We finally got a fish, y'all. Ain't no big boy. My goodness. Fished a long time for this one. We fished 2 other spots. We got a big tree floating down the river too. It's up there about 150 yards. We're having to keep an eye on that. Hopefully that don't come this way. Little old fish. But we finally caught one. I don't know how much longer we're gonna fish. We're gonna keep an eye on that tree. We definitely don't want that running into us.